I mean, Teach for Malaysia for us, again, is thinking about how we use a platform. I mean, start small, be 50 in 2012, right? But really, how do we use a platform to actually show innovation and change the way that we actually recruit, the way we train, and the way we deploy? And certainly, I mean, at the end of the day, we are going to create a different class of leaders. I mean, this is what this is about, right? And and that will be the basis of. I'm still thinking through about this. That's why it's called work in progress. Actually, the story is quite funny. We actually started here. We were very ambitious. We were knocking to ministry. This one no price. Yeah. Oh, ini ministry. Ini ministry. No. This one I told the story to ministry also. We actually started here. We were really, really ambitious. We said, kalau kita tukar teachers training college, I think we deal with it better, We do development, get more teachers, we are trained differently, right? Put them into schools and then, I mean, this is a very ambitious lah. So went there, knock on doors a little bit. I think, I don't know lah, we spent a few months I think, going around with this. I think there were plenty of doors that would slam on my face. It was very, very hard to convince anyone on this point at that point in time. And then I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to change tack. Then I moved to trust schools like Yayasan Ami. The reality of it is because one of the things that we are suggesting for teachers training is that we said that we have to change the way we think about training teachers. I mean, it's just like doctors. How much time do doctors spend sitting in classroom learning theory, right? And how much time does it spend in hospitals doing practical, right? So with teachers, if you treat at the same level, because you talk practice makes perfect, right? So if you think about the same way, then we want the same thing lah, like that, right? So we want teachers to spend more time in schools. So how do we do that? So we need lab schools. I mean, we need sekolah yang cikgu boleh pergi mengajar. So we said, but then if the schools are existing schools today, would we be allowed to do this or not? I mean, that's where we hit a lot of problems with teachers training. So that's why we decided, if we do this first, we now have, if we start doing 10 and then we do another 10, we have 20 lab schools also. So we can then start a virtual teachers training too, using how we are doing training for Teach for Malaysia, okay, right? To then, so we can then replicate very fast, right? I mean, that's my thinking lah. Belum sampai lagi that level of execution, but that's the thinking. And I'm getting a lot of buy-in already, to be honest on this one. In fact, now I'm getting people asking me bila nak buat, and I say, hold on. I think I just want to make sure trust schools get to a certain level. Because I'm very accountable about results, so I want to make sure it gets to the level first, and then we'll come back and actually do something about it. But that's very important. I want to touch a little bit about GEMS and GEMS Uni. GEMS is something that we did actually, Graduate Employability Management Scheme. It started with, Cik Azman Hussein is at the back there. I think he's one of the pioneers who started the program. The program was called Green in Khazanah. Okay, there he is. Okay. Actually, if you guys want jobs, you should speak to him. Actually, it's not me lah. I the one yang dia kata, Shahnaz sign, I sign. Okay. But at that time, I think the idea for us was because we saw that graduates coming out from universities who have CGPA of say 2.5 were not even getting to the table to be evaluated by anyone. See, 2.5. Put in a box somewhere, right? And we felt that, we clearly have some responsibility, I think, to allow and give these people a second chance. And I think, so we went out doing this, but to cut the story short, when the country was asking for some help because of the financial crisis and unemployed graduates were rising, so they asked for ideas. So my team very baik, went and told them, we have been doing this. We had 90% of conversion ratio, which means for the 500 I think that we did, 90% of them got full-time employment. So people who had less than 2.5 CPA wouldn't have an opportunity to get a job, but actually had full-time employment by the end of our program. So nicely went to the government. The government said, okay lah, you buat lah 5,000 in 1 year. Okay. Okay. Yes. So, but my team still like, okay lah, we take it on. So nicely. We did it actually. We opened 8 centers in the whole country. You know, and I think our conversion ratio is 80%. 85, right? That's pretty high. Okay. So for 5,000 people who do not have an opportunity to get a job, today have full-time employment because of this program. You know. However, see, this is us. We're still not satisfied. Our point about this to government is that this is the most expensive way of doing this. Okay? Because this is remedial. This is after university. So our thinking is that take some of these modules, do it while they are still in university. Okay? Give that opportunity of getting that industrial training or that attachment or that mentoring, you know, or that support so that they can actually develop some of the skills, confidence, articulation, communication, whatever not, while they're still in university. That will address the issue more cost effectively. So that's why now they're only very creative lah. I think they have a better name now lah. I don't know what it's called now. But it's called GEMSB. It's University Outreach Program now, right? So there's a pilot program now working with university to bring in the module earlier. So while they're still in university, they can actually go through the modules. So that when they leave university, they can go and immediately get the full-time employment. If not, they waste. I didn't say waste lah, it's not a waste, but it is about a year out of a job. But that's something that we're doing, again, that's remedial for us. You know. So anyway, as part of my selling thing, there's Teach for Malaysia brochure in the back. There's Pinta brochure in the back. Okay. I think there's LeapEd brochure in the back. LeapEd is actually an operating company that's running the trust schools for Yayasan Amin. You know, so if you're bored with your current profession, you really want to come and transform the schools, join us. Okay. So look through those brochures if you're interested. You know, but this is what we are trying to do. We're trying to really keep quite focused, however, because a lot of people do come and say, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? At the end of the day, you know, I'm really just trying to be focused to make sure what we do become transformational. It's not halfway. Trying to be focused, do it, and yet still maintain equitable access. Because we could do private school, for example, but access will be an issue, right? We're trying to do it and make it replicable, right? That you can actually raise it. So this is a just very quickly, I just want to talk about Malaysia. Actually, this one, my chief economist is better to talk about this lah. You know, this is something that I just want to say and point out. I know with all the talks about the economic transformation program and all the government does, they're all very good. Please don't get me wrong. Okay, but the reality of it is that, you know, there must be something structurally going to change. We can't do things as business as usual, because if we just, and this comes from Benadar, it didn't come from me, the data, the analysis come from me. Okay, really at the end of the day, everything is quite flattish for us. So if we really have this hope of becoming a high-income country in 2020 that we keep on saying, we really need to do some structural changes in our economy. I mean, that's all I'm going to say lah, because, you know, nanti orang kata I'm being negative about this. I'm not being negative. I really, really, truly believe what the things that we are doing. But I think sometimes we are missing the point. The point is that structural changes is required in the economy. And that structural changes, for me, doesn't just come from the type of economies, doesn't come from the type of investments, but actually, it's going to be driven by this, the demographics of this country. And that's you guys. Okay? Because even if the type of investment change, less government, more private, even if the type of economies change, less manufacturing, more service sector, but if the people who are in these demographics don't change, ain't gonna happen. Okay? And you see here, the projection, where is the fat belly? Okay? Fat belly is at this age. No? Since I'm no longer in this category, it's you guys.
I'm in maroon one.
Okay? So this is a reason why I believe in basic education as an issue. I mean, that's the reality of it. This is the age, right? The 10 to 19. Because if we don't change the way we are teaching our kids in school, thinking that regurgitating is fine, memorizing is fine, get your A's, you get your scholarship, you get to top universities, you get good job, you don't have to build character, you don't have to have values, you don't have to have discipline, you don't have to have independent thinking, critical thinking, you don't have to communicate, you don't have to be collaborative, you don't have to have social skills. We are kidding ourselves. Okay? Because everything else actually dependent on how our human capital is going to come out later on. Okay? So it's not just the race towards 2020. I think what's going to happen after that. Right? So I think this is a reality. So I'm saying this to you because you're my hope. Right? And this is not going to be easy. I mean, this is a reality of life. I mean, if I see the children in our schools, for example, the parents, for example, I mean, say the kid is somewhere around 15 to 19, secondary school, okay? Already, you see, if they are younger, I'm a bit more hopeful because intervention can happen at that age and then you rebuild. But when they're 15 to 19 and they kind of lost their way, the intervention gets a bit more difficult because some of these character building stuff, if you learn too late in your life, you have to play catch up and it's not easy. So if they are here, if I took the average age or marriage, I think their parents will be around here. Right? The parents are actually the most susceptible to reskilling right now. Because when companies change, they have to move from value chain from what they're doing today, right? So the parents will be stressed at work, right? What I've been doing the last 10, 15 years, today no longer relevant. I have to relearn. I have to learn some new skills now to be relevant. Most of them probably have to leave the company. In companies that they cannot leave, they will be given more menial jobs. They don't get career promotion or whatever it is, they will be really, really stressed. And then their kids go to school that also not reinforcing any positivity. I mean, that's the reality of life, right? So why I think, therefore, it matters to you and me, even if you're not thinking about the country, okay? Think about yourself, think about your family, think about your neighbors, think about your community, people you live with. At the end of the day, for me, education is something like, you should not just be concerned about your children, whether your children go to school. Be concerned whether your neighbor's children also go to school. Okay? Because at the end, your children can be perfectly behaved, but if your neighbor's children are not, you're also in trouble. Okay? So it's something I think that at the end of the day, I think we have to realize that this is not other people's problem. This is our problem. Yeah. So as professionals, I think can we really, really say that somebody else will take care of it. Yes, I know the system is tough. I know the system, as I say, sucks. Right? I know, I speak to state education, I speak to federal education. In fact, it's the same question I asked them. I said, the system doesn't work. You guys say the system doesn't work. You are the one implementing the system. So what are we doing? Okay? So, so the reality of it, a lot of people, we got to change the system now. For me, if I'm speaking, means I want to solve it. I'm part of the solution. I'm not just talking. I hope you are also like that. Means, you must think about what is the solution and be part of that solution. Participate in it. Don't just sit there and say somebody else will do it. Okay? Yes, this is a problem, but you know, it doesn't affect me. Somebody else will do it. It is going to affect you.